Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be watching Whitemon's Nature's Prophet. What I really like about this game is the fact that he goes a pretty damn cool item build. This is a support Nature's Prophet, but he goes items that are a lot different than the average player. In fact, I want to pull up Dota 2 Pro Tracker and show you this real quick, guys. So, he's won 7 games recently out of 8, right? So he's lost 1 of 8 games, popping off, and you'll notice a trend. Wraith bans everywhere. Wraith ban, Wraith ban, Wraith ban. Now, I will admit, I find Wraith ban to be a little weird on Prophet, and the reason why is your W, your teleport, when you hit people, you get armor, right? So it's kind of a lot of armor. It almost feels like too much armor to me, but you know, the attack speed and the agility, which gives you more attack speed, is what you want. So he's building a lot of stats. He's just trying to man up. Then he often goes treads in a majority of games. You can see he switches up a little bit. He goes Vlad's in some games, but I wanted to cover a trend in 3 of the wins, which is Mage Slayer, right? So let's kind of get into it. Let's talk about why this might be so powerful and why I really believe in this build. All right, before we get into the main part of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not only posting videos here on YouTube, I also frequently post videos on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, almost every single day, I'm posting a new video to the GameLink website. We're going to teach you guys in depth about how to get to the next level. So if you want to become absolutely broken, click the link down below and sign up. So first thing to talk about with Prophet is when the game loads in, you want to teleport and get wards down. A lot of people don't do this and it's bad. I mean, this is pretty crazy. He TVs in, puts 1 on the right and 1 on the left. I mean, they're going to be able to fight the runes, that's for sure. And I think that's the idea, right? When you put down these god wards, these deep wards on the enemy hill, you're probably going to see if they ward, right? You're going to see if they plant 1 down, and you're going to see what they're doing on the runes. And there's a very high likelihood you're going to be able to get a kill. Also, did we just see Invoker place the ward? So right away, and he thinks, oh, I'm probably out of vision. This is really low skill from Invoker. You have to assume that there could be a ward, because now, boom, that's going to get dewarded. I mean, that's just in vision. And so immediately, you can see how high skill this play is and why it's so good. So the next thing you want to do is TP to lane. Like, don't be afraid to fight the left runes. For instance, like if you're laning on the right, don't be afraid to help out with these runes. You can also TP on the rune and go for a kill, as he did get the D ward, by the way, right? He did the D ward as we talked about. Because then you can just TP to lane, and this feels incredible because you get 36 damage and armor for every single time you hit, right? So when you TP in like this, boom. Now he has 4 armor, he's got 90 damage. I mean, it's just Prophet in a nutshell. You click teleport and you click people. It's so strong. From there, the most standard Prophet play is hit level 2 and then TP to a side lane. You honestly can TP at level 1. You just have to really make sure that you enable your safe laner first. Like, I think a lot of people have the wrong idea on this hero, which is they just TP out. For instance, this TP makes a lot more sense because I don't know how much he's paying attention to, but it makes sense because if we look at it, right, the Jug is going to be able to static the creep because this creep is half HP, this one is 3/4, and the Pudge's creeps are half and a 1/4. If Jug wants to, he can keep the lane back, and that means he's probably going to be generally safe. Right, unfortunately, he doesn't have Healing Ward yet, which could make things a little sketch. He could, oh, okay, no, see, now he levels up and he has Healing Ward. Oh no, they have a side pull. He probably should have blocked that. That's not good. But in standard Nature's Prophet fashion, he TP's top and they find the kill on the Clinks. What he does next is pretty cool. Instead of TPing back to the lane, maybe because it's on cooldown, but honestly, this kind of makes sense even if it is up, because now he can just walk back to the lane and still have his TP ready. So if he dies or if he needs to TP out of something, he still has that option. Now, something to think about when you're playing Nature's Prophet support is right before the game starts, think about the most killable heroes on the map. So this game, he has a very good target in Invoker mid. This hero is generally very gankable, especially if it uses Tornado, right? Then it has very poor ways of defending itself if you bring a Dust or a Sentry. So that's a target. With Sand King, honestly, it's a little hard because Sand King as a mid hero applies little to no pressure. And that's something you also have to think about. So guys, if you're playing support and you're trying to get to the next level, you have to have this idea in your head. Who am I killing? Is my mid going to pressure their mid? If I have a Kunkka mid against an Ember Spirit, I'm going to expect them to get low. If I have a Lina mid and the enemy mid is an Evoker, this guy's going to click him probably a bunch. This game, they got a Klink safe lane. Now, you gotta know the heroes, but Klinks is a very gankable hero. He's a ranged hero, so he doesn't have Stout Shield block, right? Every single melee hero in the game has a 50% chance to block 16 damage. Every single auto attack from creeps and heroes. Ranged heroes don't have that. He's slow, and he's a ranged hero with a mediocre HP pool. He can die. And so as Nature's Prophet, you want to take advantage of this. Heroes like Drow, right? Heroes like Slark if he uses Pounce, right? These very squishy agility heroes. But especially the ranged ones are very easy to pick on. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, well, there's a couple of main points, couple of big things that I want to point out that I think are really important to be a good Fury on. Number one, always look for kills in the side lanes. I'd say mid lane is honestly the most risky place because people tend to group up there. Okay, so he looks for a kill on the Clinks, places these deep side lane wards. And it's very good. You have to remember, use teleport to place wards, right? If the enemy team is playing bot, you can TP bot. Like literally, you can TP on a hill if you think they haven't warded it, or you can TP in the trees behind them and place a ward behind them. Or you can do what he does here, right? Which is just get down these deep lane wards. And the reason why this makes sense is because your hero wants to try to kill in the side lanes. So ward the areas you want to try to play, right? And for Furion, that tends to be the lanes. So you could place a ward here. You could place a ward like he does here. The next thing, okay, in terms of his item build, I like the neutral item, Spark of Courage. You're just going to be clicking people. So Duelist Gloves, Spark of Courage. This is the way to go. Yeah, you could take like the bubble, the safety bubble, Seeds of Serenity. You could just be tanky. That's fine. I wouldn't recommend the mana items. Like, I would either be tanky or hit really hard. Then he has the Blitz Knuckles. Now, this builds into Mage Slayer, and of course, it makes sense. Teleport gives damage, you want attack speed, right? The only thing I really disagree with is no Magic Wand. He does buy it in some games, I just can't understand why he wouldn't buy it this game. It's a great game to have a Magic Wand, they're all spellcasters, you're gonna get 20 stacks, and your hero gets so much value out of HP, right? Because of the fact that your W gives you that extra armor, up to 12 now at this point, right? So you're gonna have like 20 something armor, and when you have Mage Slayer, you're gonna get magic resist. So you're gonna have armor and magic resist, right? And so Magic Wand is the best HP item in the game, that and raindrops in the early game. And so I don't understand why he doesn't have a wand. I personally would change that. Next thing to talk about, hit neutral camps, okay? You're buying right click items, your hero right clicks hard, you click Sprout, and you have plenty of mana. So even here, I would like to see him just Sprout this camp. Maybe he's saving it for the gank, I don't know, but it's a low cooldown. Sprout the camps, guys. In between fights, click neutral camps. If there's nothing to ward, there's no one to kill, click some nukes. They do go for a kill on the Bat Rider here. Notice how he's not too afraid of dying. I would generally take the same approach. Like, just get in there, guys. Finish off kills, right? Don't be afraid to trade 1 for 1. You're a support at the end of the day. But yeah, after he makes a play top, he's going to hit some top neutral camps. Notice, right? Just hitting the camps. Oh, fight happens bottom. We got the vision down. Gets a kill top. Gets a kill bottom. Hits a neutral camp. Bada bing, bada boom. Furion gameplay in a nutshell, right? You're everywhere. You're just making shit happen. Yeah, they go for a kill on the Bat Rider here. In the TP top, hits so hard, so much damage. And now at this point, he's got the Mage Slayer. And this is where your hero becomes very scary, because now a hero like Pudge, Invoker, Bat Rider, Hoodwink, heroes that do threaten you are not a problem at all, right? You just don't really have to worry about them at this point. Reason why is, well, you just don't take damage. You get 25% magic resist, so his base magic resist is 50%. You take half damage from nukes as is. And then on top of that, when you hit someone, they do 40% less spell damage. This includes pure damage, so things like Hook will deal less damage, right? Doom will deal less damage. Doom's on his team, I know, but I'm saying in general, right, will deal less damage. And so heroes like Bat Rider and DP and Viper and Pudge, these pretty meta heroes, all get countered by Mage Slayer, which is why this item has seen a rise as of late. And this clip here is why I would like to see him have a Magic Wand. I know it's kind of a slot issue, but look at this. This is the off-lane Bat Rider. He just TPs in on them because Invoker, who has pretty good net worth. This is not some poor Invoker. Look at this guy, top 3 net. Okay? He TPs on it on the Bat Rider, hits him a couple times, does half his health. Invoker comes, tries to kill him, but once you hit him with Mage Slayer, boom, doing 35% less spell damage, which I think is a... Oh, is it bugged? It's supposed to do 40. They changed it from 35 to 40. Maybe they didn't update the tooltip. I don't know. But now he's got 20 armor, which unfortunately can get dispelled, so the Invoker Tornado kind of counters you. But this combo does no damage. It does, look at this. He's eating the meatball. He just walks it off. Unfortunately, he does die here. Magic Wand would have saved him. But yeah, I mean, it's insane. He almost solo killed the Bat Rider and then just ate the Invoker spells. Next up, in terms of the following items and talents, he takes 30 Wrath of Nature base damage and 4 teleport max stacks. Now, honestly, I personally think the Treant talents are better. I know people are going to go crazy about this because Wrath of Nature base damage is very good. Teleport stacks makes sense. You're a right-click build. It is a big deal. Like, honestly, it's hard to say. When you're going a right-click build, yeah, it's hard to argue against the 4 max stacks, but if you get good at spamming Treants, you can push in waves, and you can give vision because you can split them up if you have the right hotkeys, which I'm not going to get into in today's video. But that is something I wanted to share. I just feel pretty passionate about it. This is my most played hero. I think like people just don't understand how good the value of Treants can be. All right, and finally to top off the game, a couple things to note. Enchanted Quiver, Ags, Shard. This tends to be the build I'd recommend. I mean, you just lock people down with the Ags. It's a really good wave shove, and it lowers the cooldown of the ulti. It's just really, really good. The Shard, it does so much damage, and it gives vision. The big thing is the vision. Like, if you TP into the enemy, you just click your Shard. Everyone's blinks get canceled in like a bajillion radius, 1200 range. They all get slowed and they take damage. Right? It's just insane. Like, the Shard is so broken. It was buffed like 8 billion times in a row too. I'm not kidding. By the way, the Wraith Bands, part of the reason why they are good is they double eventually. So they're slot efficient, right? Because you essentially get 1,000 gold per Wraith Band rather than the 500 you paid for them at some point. And boom! 1,000 gold! The ulti slaughters them, each auto attack doing 200 something damage. And this hero, this happens all the time where you're just higher net worth than an enemy core. This is just Nature's Prophet support in a nutshell. Crazy stuff. Yeah, alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. He's gonna go AC next. You can go a whole plethora of items. You can frankly buy whatever's needed for the game. He was dying to Clinks a little bit, and so I think he was just buying this as kind of a response to Clinks. Also, obviously, having attack speed and minus armor is good for right-clicking people. So it's a little bit of everything. I can totally see the AC, but you can legit buy anything. You can buy Bloodthorn, works with Treants, it's a lot of right-click damage. Maybe you need the Orchid. You could buy a Force Staff if your team needs it for some reason. You're against Slark and the guy's owning, you know. Just buy whatever. That's kind of the beauty of this hero. He goes AC Deso, which, I don't know. I'm not a fan of late Deso most games, but I could see it this game. Maybe if Pudge doesn't have Shivas, so his armor's low, Invoker's armor's terrible, Clinks' armor is mid, Batrider's armor's terrible, Hoodwink's armor is mid. So I can see it this game. They actually do have an armor problem, so it's kind of a cool idea. But okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.